All right. Topic for today. Do women like masculine men? What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah, but I know.
100%.
I have to agree with you. But let's before we get to the whole agreement here now.
Okay.
We've heard plenty of times where ladies are like, well, we want more feminine men. Macho guys aren't really it no more. It's more just like the soft guy. They're in their soft guy era.
Yeah.
Why do you think they would say all this, but then truly deep down like the masculine?
I think one that's a part of the feminine movement. I think now also with the rise of quote unquote toxic masculinity, I think they're kind of getting a little intimidated.
Yeah.
But I think a part of the feminine movement is a huge part. I think they're saying it because to a certain extent, that's kind of what they're being told to say. And they think that that's what they want. But in reality, it's not. And the reason why I say in reality it's not is because I have seen with my own eyes and had experiences where I've had females come and complain to me essentially because their man isn't masculine enough. Or they might not say he's not masculine. Yeah. But they tell me the traits and all the things that he's doing. Yeah. And it's the complete opposite of
quite clear he's not being masculine.
He's not taking control. Yeah. He's not leading.
He's not being assertive.
He's not speaking up. Yeah. I got to plan everything. Yeah. I feel like I'm taking care of nigga. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. She's in control.
I've seen relationships where, from the man's perspective, he's not masculine. And his wife is yelling at him, screaming at him, disrespectful. And at that point, no one's happy.
Both parties.
First and foremost, if you're screaming on somebody, the person who's screaming is not happy.
Yeah.
And whoever's getting yelled at
is not happy.
Also is not happy.
Both parties are upset.
Both parties are upset.
Yeah.
So I've seen that too, literally, where the masculine man is not. And I have noticed a lot of, obviously, divorce is high and all that other crap. But
yeah.
I feel like a lot of relationships that go the distance typically is because the man is in his role and the female is in her role,
And both of them understand that and stay in those roles.
Exactly.
Don't try to fight the other one to gain control in that regard.
Exactly. But it's what you're fed, bro. It's what you're fed. And with the feminism movement, not saying that it's a bad thing.
It was a good thing.
Exactly.
Kind of went too far, in my opinion, but I digress.
With that constantly being pushed, and then on social media, because I feel like to a certain extent, the algorithm leans a little bit more toward in that area. Yeah. So it's going to push it more and more. The more and more people see it, both men and women. Yeah. But obviously it's about women, so women are going to connect more to it than a man would.
Definitely.
And I think because of that and because of what's being pushed and because of seeing that over and over, after a while you kind of get programmed to a certain extent, and now that's kind of what you believe. So now you start saying that. That's what you want. That's what you want. That's what you want.
And this has been happening since we were kids.
Exactly. And then now
it's hard to deprogram that after a while.
And once you get a man like that,
it's just what you believe.
And listen, man, it always starts off great.
Yeah.
Because obviously she likes him.
It don't start out like that off rip.
So I'm not even saying homie got a couple months, maybe even a couple years. Some people go through it to the death and never get divorced, but eventually, I guess my point is, eventually there's going to be a time where there's going to be a rift, and then y'all niggas ain't finna be happy. Something's going to happen. Whether y'all break it off completely or it keeps going, but now she's disrespecting you. Yeah. Or now she doesn't want to do... The amount of videos I've seen of females who don't want to have sex with their husbands and stuff like that. We've been married for X amount of years. I literally just watched one right before we recorded the podcast. It was she was like, I want to have sex, but she's like, I just don't. She's like, I just don't want him to touch me at all.
Damn, bro. I don't want him to touch me. And that's her husband?
It's her husband, bro. That's her husband. It's wild.
Wow.
So it's like shit like that.
And if you can't remember, in that video, was it because he wasn't being masculine that why she had those thoughts?
I believe so.
Damn.
I believe so.
It can cost you.
Yeah.
Not being masculine can cost you.
Yeah.
To answer the question, I think a lot of the points you made were really good. And I have to agree. To try to add to some of those, I think you were correct in it's being pushed. But we know women are followers. So they will follow, and they tend to be very I guess the word may be hive-mindish, wherein if other girls are doing it, they're gonna do it too.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just what's popular to say online these days. So
Without a doubt.
that's just what you do. You know, and of course, I believe after a while, if you keep saying something, you're gonna wholeheartedly believe it.
Oh, come on, bro.
So
If
you
you
just
keep
gonna-
repeating it over and over and over and over, like,
Yeah, it's like battered and beaten into you.
yeah,
So at that point, it's just kind of like it's a part of your identity. It's who you are. It's just what you
Yep.
what you expect. You know, I think the fact that there are many men out there who aren't masculine definitely doesn't help, because then it then further pushes the point, I guess, that a lot of ladies are making, wherein, oh, it's good to be masculine or good to be feminine, better yet. So it's kind of affirming that in a way, but come to find out, you're not really going to be happy. What you think is okay, it actually isn't.
no.
You know, and you'll find a lot of situations where, one, they're just disrespecting their partner, like you said, you know,
Right.
actively just might be just going out there and cheating on their partners. Like, I don't even care if he's finds out. I don't care if he's upset. Like, this is just what we're going to do. You know, getting into open relationships, this, that, forth, all that stuff. I think collectively, though, they might not admit this, but deep down they do like masculine men. I just think it's just not popular to say that these days.
Nah.
It's just not the thing that, kind of like you brought up, the feminism movement wants to be pushed, because it kind of goes against what the whole feminism movement is. Just
Yeah.
being more in your feelings and, I guess, in all those regards. But deep down, that's what they want. They're just not going to say it. You
No.
know? So their actions will show it, but they're just not going to say it. So they'll have, like, string along, like, feminine guys, but they'll just sleep with the masculine ones, because, like, that's what they're attracted to. That's
Exactly.
their nature.
Exactly.
But they think that the feminine guys are the ones that they're eventually going to be with.
Exactly. But it's fucked up. And I don't think it should be that way. In terms of like just stringing a nigga on,
Yeah.
and then just like, you know, but it is the truth. They're not gonna say it. Very few females are going to say it, and if they do say it, they're definitely not going. Well,
They get backlash.
Yeah.
They get girls will get mad at them and call them pygmies.
Yeah, because there are girls online who do talk
Yeah,
about it. But
man.
if you want to talk about the majority, that's not the that's not the majority.
Nope.
And even crazy enough, I feel like a lot of times, like, you go talk to whether you try to pull up on a girl, go talk to her, or just conversations I've had with, like, just coworkers about, like, relationships and stuff over, like, the years of working. A lot of them, especially the younger ones, I think married women is like it's a little different, but especially like the younger ones, I feel, in like our age, like they describe essentially like a feminine nigga,
Yeah.
but then yet like
The guys they go after and get with.
are not.
Not that.
You know what I'm saying? Or it's like the feminine nigga who's the nigga who's like in the friend zone. It's the so-called like nice guy
He's a nice guy.
type shit. And it's similar. I kind of view it similar to how like a lot of females say, "Oh, I want a nice guy. I want a nice guy."
Yeah.
But yet you're not fucking.
You're not fucking with the nice guy.
You're not fucking a nice guy.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying, but your actions are completely different. So what am I supposed to believe? What you're saying or what you're actually doing?
Believe the actions.
Come on now.
If you're smart, you believe the actions.
Exactly.
You know.
Come on now.
So I believe deep down they do like these men. Unfortunately, we are going through a societal. I'm not going to call it a societal collapse, but we are going through a time where we just lack masculine men.
Yeah.
I want to, and I said this on the podcast, but I do want to believe there are more masculine men than there are feminine men out there.
I hope so.
However, I can understand the argument for the other side. You know, similar to what we were just saying, actions. I don't see many actions of masculine men. And maybe that's because it's just not pushed. Maybe they're just done.
I think that's also
just more
huge,
in the shadow.
Yeah.
But because it's not pushed, you just really don't be seeing it as much. So, like I said, I can understand the argument for there are just not as many masculine men these days. And because of that, I believe you really have to just pick from what you can get, in a way, for a lot of ladies. So they might just like pick a more feminine guy because
That's what's around.
yeah, it's just like, well, there's no one else.
There's no one else. I got no other options. Like,
Essentially,
this is what it is.
And we know women aren't gonna be the one doing the chasing. It's for us to do the chasing.
type shit.
But if men aren't approaching women, you really can only pick from so many few guys that approach you. You know, So if you're a girl and only 3 guys approach you throughout the year, well, you can either reject all 3 guys and then like you're just a solo for the rest of the year, or you pick from the 3 guys that chose you. And if 2 out of the 3 of them are feminine, and the other masculine guy is gonna go around fucking with other bitches just because like he's the masculine one, and he's gonna, well, you just gotta. I was like, all right, well, I'll just pick the feminine guy, I guess, whatever, you know.
But crazy enough, I do believe the masculine dude might have not went around and fucked a whole bunch of different bitches.
It is a possibility.
I think it depends also now
who the guy is.
I think it's who the guy is, as well as who is she.
True.
Because let's say if he had a set of standards, and she wasn't begging with them standards, and obviously he's gonna go and fuck other bitches, of course. What if she was like, okay, I'm willing to live up to those standards and do that? Well, then he might mess around and be like,
get with shorty.
All right, you know what? All right, fair enough, fine.
Yeah. It goes both ways.
It goes both ways. It's like the yin and the yang, bro.
Essentially.
Yin and the yang.